Papa Francisco, thank you so much for receiving us today during the plenary meeting of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences, which is devoted to human trafficking. And it's to you that we owe the inspiration for our work on this theme over the last 2 years. If you remember, it's that small handwritten note that you sent to our Chancellor saying, please examine human trafficking and modern slavery, including organ trafficking. And in all humility, we hope that the efforts we've made have not disappointed you. Because at each stage, the meeting of the police chiefs, the meeting of the young people, the meeting of religious leaders, we have tried to carry the agenda forward in opposing human trafficking. And at this meeting, we are trying to take the biggest giant step of all. We all know that criminal law is a necessary condition for the abolition of this illegal trade, which is growing, and its profits are now $150 billion, exceeding the drug trade. Criminalization is a necessary condition, but it's not a sufficient condition for eliminating the consequences for its human victims. Because, as you yourself have said many times, to enslave a person for their labor value, for abuse of their bodies, for harvesting their organs, nullifies the dignity by reducing people, human subjects, to objects. It's a crime against humanity that goes against the foundational principle on which all Catholic social doctrine and teaching rests. The dignity of every single person, without exception, that derives from their divine filiation. But the criminalization of this trade is the start. It's not the end of what I call the new abolitionism. Criminalization of traffic concentrates on reducing the supply of victims. But what about the demand, which is the motor of this trade itself? It's the demand for cheap labor, for prostitution, for organs, by which rich people's wants and desires nullify poor people's right to work in physical safety, to protect their own bodies from abuse, and to value their own bodily organs as necessary to life itself. This demand, sadly, is growing, not decreasing, and we must work against each element of it, and especially to eliminate the trail of human ruin and disaster that each element creates. So to this end, we have some radical proposals, which we hope sincerely you may approve. First, PASS has already become a social movement, a against trafficking, welcoming all people of good faith, of goodwill, to join us through our new website, End Slavery, which went live this week. Second, we want to dissociate criminal prosecution from automatic repatriation, because to send people home may be to invite their re-trafficking. And we want to replace repatriation with voluntary resettlement programs in each host country, leading to a right to remain and constituting what I'm going to dare to call pathways to passports. And not every country will like this. Third, we seek to combat the trafficking in organs through the obscenity known as organ tourism. And we beg your endorsement for the Catholic Church both to bless and to promote the distribution of voluntary organ donor cards, so that many of the faithful, many of those of other faiths and of none, will carry these cards and serve to reduce the demand for human organs. And lastly, we pray for your active support in convincing the Secretary General of the United Nations to designate the elimination of human trafficking as one of the new Sustainable Development Goals. Please forgive me if I have been too direct, but there is a point at which moral outrage has to give way to practical action for us to be able to say with you, Your Holiness, slaves no more,